Good Friday evening to you. I'm KSLA Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones. All eyes on this major winter storm set to impact the Arklatex as we head into the weekend. Freezing rain is going to be the biggest issue here. A half an inch to an inch of ice expected. That's going to cause some big issues across the Arklatex. Extreme cold on the way, single digits and teens for those overnight temperatures later in the weekend and early next week. Wind chills dropping below zero. Very difficult travel expected. Power outages are likely. Here's a look at all the winter weather alerts that we have. The darker shade of purple, that's your ice storm warning. The brighter shade of pink there in the northern areas, that's your winter storm warning, and that begins this evening, lasting all the way through 6 p.m. on Sunday. In addition, we have an extreme cold warning that will go into effect 6 p.m. Sunday, lasting through noon on Tuesday for some extremely cold air and some dangerous cold on the way. So when does all this arrive? Well, it looks like along I-30, that'll be later tonight, and then as we get into Saturday morning, all the I-20 corridor is going to already be in that freezing rain. That will spread its way southward through Saturday afternoon, and eventually all of the Arklatex is going to see some pretty significant freezing rain. Here's a look at future track. We'll take you to midnight. Notice how that freezing rain and sleet begins to drop its way closer to I-20 by around midnight, and then continues to push its way southward overnight tonight. So a lot of us are going to be in that freezing rain area as we get into Saturday morning along I-20 and points south. That continues to work its way to the south as we head throughout the day on Saturday. So I think Natchitoches changes over probably around noon or so, and then that will continue throughout the afternoon. We'll see waves of this all day long. We'll see some periods where some sleet mixes in, but the predominant precip type is going to be freezing rain. There again will be some mixing going on at times, and this continues all the way through Saturday night, even into Sunday morning. Still looking at widespread ice and some very significant impacts across the Arklatex. Northwestern areas, north and west of I-30, could briefly change over to some snow on the backside of this, and I think a lot of us could see a brief 1-2 inches of snow as this moves out. So snow and ice totals. Let's talk about the ice first. Expecting a half an inch to 1 inch of ice, but there could be even higher totals. There could be a few spots that even get over an inch of ice. That's going to cause some big issues. And on the backside of all this, we could see a brief period of snow and sleet and maybe lay down about an inch or two of that on top of that layer of ice. Here comes that cold air behind all of this. Look at our lows Monday morning in the single digits and teens. Wind chills early next week could be dropping below zero across parts of the Arklatex. So again, some dangerous cold on the way. Here's that forecast for tomorrow. It's going to be a nasty one. Stay inside, hunker down. We're talking freezing rain and sleet throughout the day. Temperatures will only be in the mid to upper 20s, so we're not going to warm up at all. And with that northeast wind at around 10 to 20 miles an hour, that's going to create a wind chill in the teens all day. And notice for tomorrow, basically everyone along and north of I-20 looking at temperatures stuck in the 20s. A few spots to the south just above that freezing point, but even places like Natchitoches and Manny, you'll be dropping below freezing as we head into the afternoon. So we continue those first alert weather days all the way through Monday, but the worst of the winter storm is going to be Saturday and Sunday. This does start to move out by Sunday afternoon, but Sunday night looks brutally cold with that temperature down to 9. Monday is a first alert weather day because even though that sun returns, it's going to stay very icy around the region, and in fact this ice might not even start to melt until Tuesday afternoon, finally getting above freezing by that time, and highs back in the low 40s by Wednesday and Thursday.